If you've been diagnosed as pre-diabetic or diabetic, don't worry, I have the perfect meal plan for you. Grab your pen, paper. You're going to want to take notes because I have 3 days of breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Grab some containers and the star of the show, your Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has 17 grams of protein in 3/4 of a cup. Remember, protein keeps us full. It promotes satiety. Just check the label to make sure that there's no added sugar to this. Then we're going to use our frozen blueberries. And again, I stress this so much. Double check your label. Make sure the ingredient on there is the blueberries. You see there's no added sugar. And then I grabbed some nuts. I just grabbed these out of the cabinet. There is no need to go buy things if we already have them. And that's the case of our bowl. You could use a bowl. You could use containers that you already had. Please don't go and leave this video and go and buy a bunch of containers when we have some. For today, I'm using the travel cup. Don't go buy any new. If you want to do a bowl and put some aluminum foil on it, that is A-okay. We're measuring out loosely a cup of our Greek yogurt. Now I'm using Faye. There are so many wonderful brands out there. There's Dan & Too Good. Chobani has a 0 sugar. Even some of our store brands from Walmart and Kroger are phenomenal. All I ask you do, and I teach this in clinic, is read your ingredient label. Don't be shamed into buying the most expensive brand. A lot of us are here to save money. And today I picked the Faye. Usually buying in the bigger container is going to be a little bit cheaper, but if you want to just take the yogurt with you to work, you could definitely buy it in the 6 ounce and just mix it when you sit at your desk. I'm adding to this our frozen blueberries. Now, before you panic and, grab those pearls, you can see this is private selection, so I got it at the Kroger. Blueberries are a low glycemic fruit. I am very specific about fruit in clinic, and if you're new here, or if you're visiting, or if you're returning, I'm Shelly. During the day, I work as a dietitian. My main clients are those looking for weight loss, for hormone balance. I have a lot of pre-diabetics, diabetics, even folks looking to lower their cholesterol. And those low glycemic fruits are where we want to go because those guys have fiber. Fiber is key to keeping us full, but it prevents those ups and downs with our blood sugar levels. So we want to load up on those low glycemic fruits. Other things you could do, raspberries, you could do strawberries, you could do blackberries. I'm doing the blueberries and yogurt. I don't know, it just kind of seems to make sense to me, but please feel free to use any of those other glycemic fruits. Now, the other thing I'm doing is I'm adding nuts. Now, yes, you can get the pretty sliced almonds, but I'm cheap. I want to see what I have and I want to use what I have. One of my goals this year is that I don't waste. All again, I ask you do. I'm preaching to the choir when talking to y'all. Sorry, I had a little tickle in my throat there. Just double check your ingredients. There's really no added sugar to this whole container of nuts. I got this at Sam's Club. You can crush them, but again, I'm also saving time. Who cares? Y'all, this ain't pretty, but guess what? It works. See you next time. Ingredients are crazy easy. Grab your Mission Carb Balance wraps, some mozzarella cheese, turkey pepperoni, and yes, pay attention to those ingredients, friends, because I know you're going to say something in the comments. You could do chicken, but I love pizza, so bring me my pepperoni. Pizza sauce. Again, this is something I want you to be very mindful of in the comment section. This did have 3 grams of sugar. For some of y'all looking for lower sugar, there are different varieties out there that are going to be available at your Walmart and Kroger, so no biggie. It's so easy to prep these. Lay out your Mission Carb Balance wrap on your cutting board. We love these. They are a huge amount of fiber. Y'all know fiber is a winner in here. Said it once, I've said it twice. I'll say it again. 30 grams of fiber in a day is what I want to see you do. And we're gonna layer this with your turkey pepperoni. Now I picked turkey pepperoni. I am always very mindful of calories. This will offer us some protein in here. And it's water, fiber, and protein that are my diabetic and pre-diabetic best friends. Protein keeps that blood sugar stable. Protein also keeps us fuller longer. I want you to aim for 90 grams of protein or higher. And if you're new here, I'm Shelly. I'm a dietitian. In the day, I work with clients. At nighttime, I'm a busy mom trying to make up some really quick recipes, starring ingredients from Walmart and Kroger. If that is you, go ahead and subscribe. And hey, while you do that, download my 7-day menu in the description box. We're going to continue with about a 1/4 cup of our mozzarella cheese. This also offers us some protein, about 2 tablespoons of our pizza sauce. And remember, friends, always be mindful, look on the label. I do look at carbs, but I also look at sugar. Let's keep it as low as possible. To make this wrap, you're gonna grab your saucepan, set it to medium heat. We're gonna put your wrap on there after, of course, you spray it with your nonstick cooking spray. I personally like to cook it 2 to 3 minutes, but I like a crisp. Dare I say I kind of like it a little burnt almost. Don't think I'm weird, but I like that. You can cook it less, you can cook it more. It's all up to you, boo-boo. We love what you do. When it's done cooking, remember this is our fiber protein winner. You know those Mission Carb Balance wraps have about 15 to 17 grams of fiber, depending on what type you buy. You're gonna remove this from the heat and cut it into 4 pieces. Now here's the thing, you're gonna repeat this process for your work week, so for 5 days. Make sure you store it. You can store it in sandwich bags. I do prefer to store it in plastic containers. Don't go buy the fancy ones. Use what you have. We're not here to spend extra money. So keep repeating this over again. You could do different toppings. This is a meal prep lunch. Perfect for diabetics, pre-diabetics. Check out the ingredients in the description box. And gang, while you're there, make sure you subscribe. Much love.
Set oven to 350 degrees. And introducing our fat burning star, which is our goat cheese. Now for this recipe, we only need 2 ounces. This is an 8-ounce block. You see how crafty my geometry skills are, where I'm kind of taking the knife, putting it in the middle, and then kind of doing 1/4 of it. I don't really stress out about that kind of stuff. I don't want you to stress out about it as well. What I want you to think about is the importance of goat cheese. It is our fat burner because it contains more MCT than that of the cow. Now, you're probably saying, who really cares about that, Shelly? Well, guess what? I do, because using goat cheese that has more MCT and that makes it a fat burner is that the fatty acids in there, the MCT, is metabolized faster. What does that mean? It's gonna keep us fuller longer, so we're not gonna reach for snacks, and it's gonna help us with our weight loss plan. Now, the other cool thing about goat cheese, it has something called A2 beta casein. That is a big fancy word that means that, hey, I'm easier to digest, so I'm not going to cause you tummy troubles or the trots, maybe that like a cow's milk and a cow's cheese would do. In addition to the goat cheese, we are adding 1.5 cup of our shredded cheese. You see, I'm using Kroger because I'm bougie on a bayou. I don't go buy fancy stuff, y'all. I just don't expect y'all to do it. I don't expect my patients to do it. I don't expect my clients to do it, and I sure as heck don't expect y'all to do it. Follow me to the microwave. We're going to microwave this for a minute. And once we take it out of the microwave, it's kind of ooey, it's gooey, it's not at all gross. It is fantastic. Give it a good stir so we can make sure everything is mixed really well. And to this, we are adding our almond flour. Now, gang, yes, I do have a little bit of an allergy sniffle. Any helps and tips would be wonderful because I hate medicine. It completely knocks me out. But almond flour is my favorite. We're adding a cup to this. I know I'm going to get asked the question where I purchased mine from. I get this at Sam's Club. Again, bougie on a bayou. I don't have a Costco in my town. I'm sure they have it at Costco. And the next question I'm going to get asked about is coconut flour. Y'all know, if you know me by now, I am just not a fan of coconut flour. I guess you can use it in there. Go ahead and try it. I encourage you all to, try things and to have fun, and let me know in the comments, are you team almond flour or team coconut flour? Y'all know I am team almond flour. Now, y'all know I ain't fancy. I'm just going to grab me a fork and keep mixing this up. Now, here's where things kind of got a little sticky shady. So I have my parchment paper, and I want you all to grab this parchment paper. And of course, I got this at Walmart because, again, I don't go to fancy stores. I really don't have a lot of fancy stores in my town. I know, grasp those pearls. Oh my goodness, I don't. And I really don't have time to shop at that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of pickup. Let me know if you love pickup as well. And you can see my baking pan is kind of embarrassing, but look, gang, that baking pan is so old. I am only getting rid of it if it cracks in half. So if you want to make fun of it, go ahead. It is kind of one of those heirloom, my baby. I am not getting rid of this bad boy. Now, first, I started by putting the parchment paper on top of the baking pan. I put the dough on there. You can get another piece of parchment paper, put it on top, and grab an amazing rolling pin. I kind of struggled with this a little bit in a fun way, gang. In a fun way. Don't
don't think too heavy about this. I know there might be some professional chefs out there who are going to make fun and who are going to laugh. Gang, don't worry about that. This does not have to be perfect. You can see I struggled, so all I did was remove the pan and, kind of use my fingers a little bit. Have fun with this. Take your anger out on the dough. The point is we want to make the dough really thin, gang. And if you want to use your baking pan with it, if you want to use a rolling pin, if you want to use your fingers, use whatever matters to you. Please don't let this upset you or let anybody tell you anything else but wrong. People just love to make us sweat, and I don't want you to do that. Now, this is where I went on the struggle bus as well. I grabbed my pizza cutter and I'm kind of like, okay, we need to cut this in triangles so it can look like Doritos. Well, you see my triangles are all messed up. Geometry was not my subject in high school. I can remember I had to get a tutor. I boo-hooed like a baby for every test. Yes, I was that student. I was a good student, but I did struggle with geometry. If you have some ideas on how I can make these triangles better, let me know. You can see I'm super on the struggle bus with this. Again, you got a little allergy going on here. And you just kind of take your triangles or rectangles or octagons or whatever the heck you made, and you put it on your pan and you bring it over to your oven. Go ahead and bake for 12 minutes. These are amazing. They come out super crispy. Look how thin they are. And if you were too busy laughing and not writing, don't worry. I have the recipe in the comment section. And if you're looking to lower your blood sugar, lower your weight, and make some fun low-carb recipes in the process that I promise you and the entire family would love, I would be honored if you subscribe. And gang, love you much. Bye-bye.
Grab your pen and paper. You're going to want to put these ingredients on your shopping list. We have our Italian dressing. I'm using Kim's. Just be sure to check the label to look at that sugar and carb count. We have cottage cheese, which we'll learn is one of our secret weight loss weapons in a little bit. We have our palmini, which is going to be our noodle, which is hearts of palm at 4 grams of carbs, mozzarella cheese. And check this out, gang. So we have Rayo's and we have Prego. And so what I'm doing is comparing the labels, and Rayo has 5 grams of net carbs and Prego has our 7 grams of net carbs. And then I kind of look at calories, and then I look a little bit at price, and we're going to see in a little bit which one I decided to pick. Now go ahead and put that final ingredient, which is our 90-10 ground meat, in our saucepan. I get a lot of questions about ground meat, and I'm still to this day, I am a 90-10 girl. If I see 93.7, it's kind of hard to find lately. I'll use that. You could use turkey, you can use chicken, and folks are very concerned about what meat to use. And where are my manners? Hello, if you're new here, welcome, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Dietitian Shelly. During the day, I work in a private practice clinic in the great state of Louisiana. I work with diabetics, pre-diabetics, those with PCOS, those looking to lose weight. I also post videos on this YouTube channel related to the same: diabetes, pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, hormone imbalance. If you're that person who wants to lower your blood sugars, take control of your weight, balance out your hormones, you are going to want to subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you along in the family so that you can learn how to eat yummy foods, learn some easy tips that won't break the bank. So please subscribe. I would love to have you be part of this family. You're going to see how I'm going to add, I'm draining the palmini noodles first. You don't see it. I'm kind of doing it while this meat is getting brown. Okay, so because we want to brown down our meat. You also are not going to see me drain this meat, but I want you to do that. I give it a little rinsey rinse. And I chose the Prego. The reason I chose the Prego is because I love Rayo's. I will tell you, I love Rayo's. I'm just not loving the price right now. I know a lot of us are penny pinching it. I want you to feel okay. Not buying the most expensive item, but still buying an item that's okay. So please don't feel guilty about that. We're gonna pour in about a 4th cup of the Italian dressing. This adds a really nice zing, a really nice zang, and I like that. Stir in your palmini, and you're gonna see that I'm putting it on low. Yes, there's my face, there's my hair, woohoo, yay. That's what I look like, on normal days, not all made up, it's okay. And we're adding that weight loss weapon, a cup of our cottage cheese. Okay, so let's talk about this. So how is cottage cheese a weight loss winner? Well, easy, it's loaded with protein. Cottage cheese is a great source of protein. And to say it in scientific terms, it promotes satiety. To say it in normal words, satiety is the feeling of fullness. So in other words, this is going to fill you up without filling you out, without having you reach for other items. Now, the really cool thing about fat burning is cottage cheese is very low on the glycemic index scale. And there's a little bit of discrepancy. You know, some places I'll see it's 10, some places I'll see it's 15, but the lower glycemic index foods will produce less blood glucose and insulin, which will avoid us creating body fat. So we always want to reach for low glycemic foods. We're going to stir that together. We're going to sprinkle this with some cheese. We're going to let it sit, y'all. This dinner's amazing. It can help reverse pre-diabetes because it's all low glycemic. Cook this now. Go in the description box, get the recipe, subscribe to this channel, and gang, much love.
And we're starting with that bag of green beans. Now, ladies and gents, although this says wash and prepare, no, boo, Jesus, take the wheel to my strainer. Go ahead and give these babies a nice little rinse because I do not trust that. Oh, did I mention to put the oven to 425? Whoops. Well, guess what? I just did, boo. I just did. So go ahead and rinse these and grab your cutting board and put those green beans on there. Now, this is the stem. Okay, so this little stemmy part, some people will and can, I guess, pop it off with their fingertips. I cannot do this. If you have a secret way to do this, let me know. I'm a time saver. I love to grab my knife and just chop these bad boys off. As you chop these bad boys off, line them in your large baking pan. This is a pretty big bag of those green beans. I don't exactly know how much this is. I'm gonna estimate that it's a pound, but I got it from the produce section. This was an Albertsons product. Of course, you can find this at the Walmart and Kroger. Love green beans. But one of the biggest complaints I get from all my clients and patients is that it is incredibly boring and the steamed green beans, And I gotta agree, some of those steamed veggies, but I guarantee this is the best way to prepare these. Green beans itself, amazing for us. A cup contains 28 calories, approximately 5.6 grams of carbs, 2.6 grams of fiber, putting the net carb right at 3. So this is awesome for all of my folks who are diabetic, PCOS, insulin resistance. And we're gonna add to this 2 to 3 tablespoons of our olive oil. Y'all know I love to use olive oil. It's that great monounsaturated fat, which is wonderful for our heart. And yes, I am using the Redmond real salt. I'm going to get a lot of questions about, can I use this seasoning, that seasoning? And this is what I always say. I give you the base. Please doctor this up to how you would like it. If you like Tony's, go for it. If you like Greek seasoning, go for it. If you like a no salt seasoning, you go for it. Gang, y'all know I don't measure seasoning. I'm Cajun. I don't think we were born with measuring spoons. Let me know in the comments what state you're from, because I'm from the great state of Louisiana. Go ahead and grab those tongs, toss this, put it in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes. Now, disclaimer, you may want to cook this longer because you kind of like that little burnt feel. I love this. It's amazing. If you were too busy laughing and watching without writing the recipe down, scroll into the description. And of course, scroll down there for a menu. Gang, much love to all. And please go ahead and subscribe. Preheat your oven to 375 and grab your dry and liquid measuring cup. And yes, I do realize my drawer is a mess. We do need to start normalizing this, gang. I don't have matchy equipment. I use what works, and this has been with me for years, so it's gonna be. And you know, if you want me to have matchy stuff, you can gladly mail it to me because baby, I ain't gonna buy if it works. The other thing is that I'm using a fork to stir. I'm not using some fancy whisk. Grab your muffin tins and your nonstick cooking spray. Ingredients, crazy easy. We have our 4 eggs, and of course I have our bag of spinach. Now I am using fresh spinach, and you know, just make sure that ingredient list, the only ingredient on there is spinach. And yes, I'm using shredded cheese from the Kroger. Grab your strainer and take 2 handfuls of spinach. It's gonna be about a cup. We're gonna go ahead and rinse it. Now blot that spinach with a paper towel dry, and we're gonna give it a chop. It doesn't matter how big you chop it. Again, I wanna normalize cutting up stuff in the kitchen. You know, as long as you don't hurt yourself, as long as you're cutting properly, I'm fine. It doesn't have to be all even like the chefs on TV do. A cup of spinach, listen to this, 7 calories. I consider it a free food. So I always tell folks, add it to everything. And it does have a little bit of iron in there. It's one of those items that's kind of like a sneaky product. There's sneaky iron in there. Now, one of y'all know my favorite tricks when it comes to cracking eggs. I love to crack it in the measuring cup. I look at it, I make sure that there's no shells in there. Plus I don't like to dirty all these dishes. 1 egg, 72 calories, 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and no carbs. Now, absolutely you can use egg whites. I've been on an egg white kick lately just to up the protein in my diet. So for sure, you can use your egg whites. I'm using a fork. I don't use anything fancy. I hate dirtying up stuff. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of fancy gadgets in my kitchen. Starting it all up, I'm pouring that spinach in there, mix it all together. And then what I'm doing is you take your muffin tin. Now I'm spraying it. We've talked about this before in the past. I'm really interested in buying these silicone muffin tins that you see a lot of other YouTubers use, and I see them in the store. But again, I'm not gonna buy it unless it works. I don't have all this money and space to have all these gadgets. So if you do have the silicone muffin tins, let me know. I'm really interested in buying it, but I really want to make sure it works. I hate to just use it 3 times and they fall apart and fail. We're gonna bake this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, while waiting for your eggs to cook, definitely grab your storage bags. You can label them. Remember, I put 2 muffins in each bag. They'll last in the refrigerator for about 4 to 6 days. You could definitely freeze these as well. Use your spatula, your butter knife to remove. These are awesome. They're great for meal prep. Take care, gang. A quick grab of these ingredients. Mission Carb Balance Wraps. These are a staple in our clinic. We'll talk more about those later. Your buffalo sauce. Now double check the label. This is the Kroger brand. I also did use plain, so just double check. Make sure the carb count, the sugar count's low. You see, hey, less than 1. Mozzarella cheese, and then a rotisserie chicken. And again, look at those ingredients. We'll chat about that in a second. Now to prep. Now we're just gonna make one of these on camera. I want you to pull out your Mission Carb Balance Wrap. And I want to remind everybody that you can use different brands. Just compare the labels. I do shop at Walmart and Kroger. You see the off-brand of things that I use. You can use personal rotisserie chicken. I just like to use it sliced. You sprinkle on that mozzarella cheese. And again, I'm using the Kroger brand because I'm bougie on a bayou. That means I don't like to spend a lot of money. And then the buffalo sauce, I did use the Kroger brand. So don't let anyone tell you you cannot use store brand or off brand. It's really one of my passions that I'm trying to get out there, that we don't have to spend so much money. And I teach this to the folks in my clinic. Go ahead and put your pan on about medium heat, and you're going to spray it with your non-stick cooking spray. You're going to go ahead and place that fixed buffalo chicken wrap and cook it about 1 minute and 30 seconds on each side. Now, how do we make this a full lunch? So these cooked do have an actual good shelf life. You could do this for your Monday through Friday work lunch or just personal lunch at the house. What would I add to this? Well, remember, we teach in our clinic the importance of protein, fiber. Remember, protein, I'd love to see 90 grams or more in a day, and that protein comes from that chicken. So you do want to make sure, one of the things I find folks do is they go very skimpy on their meats, on their wraps, or on their sandwiches. So be sure to put those, 3 to 4 slices on there. Make sure you're doing your 4 ounces of meat. Well, with that said, talking about fiber, I love 35 grams of fiber or higher in a day. Fiber slows down the absorption of blood sugar levels. I cannot stress that enough. It also keeps us full. The Mission Carb Balance Wraps have a huge amount of fiber, depending the size, between 13 and 17. Now, this again is where I say, hey, if you don't have the Mission Carb Balance Wraps and you want to use a different brand, read the label. I always push for 5 grams of fiber or higher. And if you want to go out there and do a little hatergate on me and, talk about, shopping at the fancy store, which, baby girl, I didn't even know what the fancy store was until about 6 or 7 years ago. My hometown doesn't even have the fancy store. And you know what the fancy store means? Starts with a W, ends with an S. We don't have that in my hometown, y'all. So I don't even know what that is. I really don't know what it's like to shop there. Shop at your local supermarkets. I cannot stress it enough. Next story. What do we add to this? Well, I have a video that is going to play directly after. You may have to click on the link and I'll pin it as my first comment, is our different salads that you could do. It's very important to note, I don't want you to put the salad in the same container as the wrap because it could get a little wet and that would be kind of icky gross. We don't like that. But we add an extra vegetable to our lunch. So I like protein, I like fiber, I like vegetable. Now for some folks, I'll do an additional protein, maybe like a Dannon Too Good yogurt. Some folks I'll actually add an additional fiber, like the half cup of berries. So it kind of depends individual wise. You try either one. And hey, this is what I teach to my clients and my patients. I'm Dietitian Shelly. During the day, I run a clinic. I primarily see folks for diabetes, pre-diabetes, hormone balance, and weight loss. If that's you, you want easy recipes and quick tips that don't include fluff, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. And look at this, gang. This is crispy. This is crunchy. It's beautiful. It's part of that perfect lunch. Cut it up. Go ahead and get it stored. And gang, be sure to subscribe. If you missed the recipes and you want the videos, be sure to watch that salad video next. Much love. Bye-bye. I'm Dietitian Shelly, and I share this dump meal with all of my clients who are looking for help on maintaining their blood sugar levels and their hormonal levels. So if that's you, you definitely want to subscribe to this channel. Now, the ingredients are so incredibly easy. One of the things I love is this ginger peanut sauce. I absolutely love it. I find it at my local drug emporium stores. I have seen that it is at our Walmart, our Kroger, and our Albertsons. And if we look at the label on this, we see that it is 3 grams of carbs. Now, before you go and clutch your pearls and start sweating and getting on your knees and telling me, Jesus, take the wheel, hear me out and calm down. One of the things that I do when I teach my clients label reading is I like to keep the sugar under 5. Now, those of y'all who keep it at 0, that is amazing. And I love it. And I love you. But I try to keep things under 5 grams of sugar because 5 is a teaspoon. Now, if you definitely want to go sugar-free, 0 grams, and do the G. Hughes teriyaki, and that's everywhere as well. So I have 2 options for you. Then I have shredded cabbage. Before we continue, yes, you can shred your own cabbage. I have 2 kids though. I'm kind of lazy. Actually, I'm kind of busy because I run a clinic, and to be honest, I like shortcuts. Yeah, do that. We love cabbage for blood sugar control. I did a video about the best vegetables for diabetes. I will link it below. You want to watch it. And then I have the Natural Heaven Hearts of Palm. So when this meal is done, if you want to serve it over something, I do not. I just eat it as is. Love these. They're plain. Again, you can get these pretty much anywhere. They're awesome. Follow the directions on how to cook. It is an amazing, amazing noodle replacer. And then our olive oil cooking spray. If you're anything like me, the slow cooker or crock pot stays on my counter year round. It is the one appliance I think that's made it through everything. I feel like if the zombies took over, I would grab my slow cooker and run away. That would be the thing I grab. But it has a little competition with the foodie. This is my other item that I absolutely love. It would be a hard choice. It's like, picking which one's my favorite. It was a Christmas present, but drum roll, for today's recipe, I am using the tried and true slow cooker. Go ahead and spray it with your nonstick cooking spray. Now, you absolutely have the option to use the slow cooker liners. I am not today because some of y'all don't have them, but you find these in where kind of the aluminum foils at, et cetera, et cetera. You can see I already have a pound of chicken in this slow cooker. I'm using chicken breast. Oh my gosh, you can use the thighs. In fact, if you're anything like me and look for deals, comment below if you love couponing. I do. It's something I'm going to bring to you all. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely let me know in the comment section. I am not afraid to say I shop at Ollie's, Big Lots, discount stores. I clip coupons. I am an Ibotta girl. Look, I'm bougie on a Bayou, baby. I'm trying to save money every which way I can. Go ahead and add your coleslaw to this. This saves time. I'm lazy. I hate dishes. I mean, come on. You know, it's like, let's just add it to there. But again, you could use your own cabbage. You see, it's nice and full. I'm going to pour on top of that my ginger people marinade. Remember, you have the option of using that G. Hughes cover. And we're going to cook this on low for about 5 hours. This smells amazing. It is delicious. No chopping required. You notice that there is no high carb vegetable in here. Yes, this is going to keep our blood sugar stable. This is a dinner you want to keep your hormones in check. Everything okay. If you were too busy just paying attention to what I was doing, maybe even cracking some laps, scroll down. I'm Dietitian Shelly. I would be so honored if you subscribe to our channel. Much love, gang. I have another popular egg muffin recipe. This is perfect for meal prep for my pre-diabetics, diabetics, and those looking for weight loss. Join me now. The 3 simple ingredients that can be found at your local supermarket, Kroger, are our eggs, mushrooms, and cheese. Go ahead and grab that strainer and we're going to wash those mushrooms. Now I do want you to pat or blot them dry and go ahead and give them a chop. And friends, remember, I do not want you to stress out about things being chopped evenly. And I see so many things, and I think we're swinging back to the, let's cook normal. We don't have to be so super fancy pans. Chop it as you wish. If some parts are uneven, this is absolutely okay. The big more topics to talk about is why we love mushrooms. A cup of mushrooms is only 15 calories, 3 grams of carbs, and are a great source of selenium. Now, y'all know the other thing I don't like to do is dirty dishes. We don't need 700 bowls to cook. We're actually going to mix this in our measuring cup. I hate dishes. I hate dirty bowls. This is the smartest way to do this. And we're going to crack our 4 eggs in there. And this is also a great way to look to see if any shall appear. Now, by now, we love the egg in this kitchen, but if you're new here, and hey, if you're new, I'm Shelly, I'm a dietitian. During the day, I work with clients to help with weight loss, to balance our hormone levels, lower blood sugar levels. And at night, I have a pretty busy life. I'm a mom of 2, which is a 24-hour job, but I try to make really simple, easy recipes that the entire family would love. So if that's of interest to you, go on and join me, subscribe. We're gonna add everything in this measuring cup. Go ahead and put the cheese in there, stir it in, and then you're going to pour it in your muffin tin. Now, I've said this once, I've said it again. I am so on the fence about getting the silicone muffin cups. If you have them, let me know. I am using nonstick cooking spray. Some people will blot olive oil in there. I do not have time for that. For the naysayers who hate nonstick cooking spray, that is an option for you. So, do what works for you. I never want to rain on anybody's parade. I ask that people don't rain on mine. So just use a nonstick cooking spray, throw it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, egg muffins are perfect for our meal prep. You see that we took them out the oven. Obviously, they're cool now, and you could use your spatula or butter knife to remove them. I would store them by 2 in our Ziploc bags. And remember, this is a source of protein. So we need our fiber to go with it. So you can add a cup of your berries. You could add, a slice of your sola bread, which is one of my favorite breads to this. You could also put the eggs on a mission carb wrap. Just be mindful that we do need to add that fiber. And I personally would add another protein, maybe a Daily 2 Good yogurt, but this is the base of a perfect pre-diabetes meal prep for weight loss. I'm Dietitian Shelly, and let's get our healthy meal prep done for the week. This is perfect for our diabetics, pre-diabetics, and those looking to lose weight. Let's go. Grab your saucepan, spatula, sandwich bags, or go ahead and do a full meal prep and make our cabbage salad in our bowls. Now, I have a bowl. You could use Tupperware. You can really use anything, y'all. Please don't go and buy more stuff. This is a favorite salad of all of my clients in my clinic. And if you're new here, hey, Dietitian Shelly. If you have diabetes, pre-diabetes, you definitely want to subscribe to this channel. We're going to add to this my shredded cabbage, about a cup. I love cabbage because it really stays crunchy. It doesn't spoil. To me, there's nothing worse than a liquefied salad. Kind of icky, kind of gross. Then we're adding to this feta cheese. I love feta cheese. If you watch this channel, I talk a lot about goat cheese, but also remember feta cheese is traditionally made from the goat or sheep milk. So this is great for folks who are lactose intolerant. And then we're going to add our Simply vinaigrette to it. I am very mindful of the ingredients. Check them out. Make sure it's low in sugar. But notice I'm not pouring it to the salad. This is something that I'm going to bring along with me, because if we did add it to the salad, it would get a little funky and gross. These simple ingredients will make your week meal prep. We have our rotisserie chicken. Rotisserie chicken is where it is. You see I have it in a package here. Could you buy it and shred it yourself? Absolutely. We also have our feta, which we talked about a little easier on our stomach. And I have our mini peppers. And the star of the show is our Mission Carb Balance wraps. You're going to want to go ahead and cut up those 1 to 2 mini peppers. I love the mini peppers in this recipe. Number one, instead of the full size, we are using the tiny ones. It cuts them up tiny, but please remember, gang, I'm cutting these. I'm kind of cutting them really thin. Cut them as you wish. None of us are chefs here. None of us are going to fuss each other. It's not going to be, you have to cut it this thin, blah, blah, blah. That is what zaps our time. Just go ahead and chop it. Then what you're going to do is grab those mission wraps. Now those mission carb balance wraps are that secret weapon, which is our fiber. If you watched my videos, you know that I really push for 30 grams of fiber. If you're nervous that you're not getting 30 grams of fiber in a day, remember this helps lower our blood sugar levels. It keeps us full. I mean, there's just so many good things about it. Read more about it in my 7-day menu. That is free. Go ahead and click it in the description box right now to download. You are going to layer on that chicken. Now chicken's the other weight loss winner, which is our protein. You know I'll push 90 grams of protein a day or higher. And I love chicken because it's simple. The family loves it. You're going to layer on your peppers and feta. And yes, all these ingredients, you can get them at Kroger, Walmart, Aldi. And I'm so excited because there's an Aldi now in Shreveport, which is where I live. Get them cheap, gang. Don't spend a ton of money. Now you see we're transitioning over to our saucepan. Go ahead and put it on medium heat. You're going to spray that pan with nonstick cooking spray, and you're going to place that wrap in the pan. You're going to cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Now, if you want it crispier, please do cook it longer. And a little trick I have is once I flip it, I actually spray the top of it with that nonstick because I do love, a crispy type of feel. And yes, I am using the olive oil nonstick cooking spray. Once it's done, you're going to remove it from the heat. You're going to cut it into your 4 pieces. You could put this in the sandwich bag, but we're doing the lunch all together. I'm putting it in this container. And if you were too busy watching and forgot to take notes, well, gang, guess what? I got the recipe in that description box. And please, please, please download that menu and subscribe.
Grab that slow cooker because our under $10 meal is our creamy salsa chicken. We are going to add to this the main ingredient, chicken thighs. Now you see that these are approximately $6, a little bit over. Yeah, I know I'm bougie on a bayou. I believe I got these maybe at the Walmart or the Albertsons. Love to use thighs, y'all, because not only is a 3.5 ounce, 209 calories, 26 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, thighs always tend to be cheaper than the breast and cheaper than the tenderloin. And have no shame in using chicken thighs, boo, because they cheaper, because they can go and clutch their pearls somewhere else. We are layering these gorgeous chicken thighs. Keep in mind, these are boneless in our slow cooker or crock pot. Let me know what you say. Are you team slow cooker, team crock pot? To this, we're gonna add a jar of our salsa. Now again, this is about $1.50. Salsa fits onto a low-carb plan just fine, but double check your label. I always encourage folks to look for 5 grams of carbs or less. Some of y'all probably just gas those pearls and are like, oh, I need 0 carbs. Well, boom, you find the lowest carb for you, and that is okay. You do you. Pour it over there. Over that chicken, we're layering it very nicely, and then to top it off, we're adding our cream cheese. Now you see that's great value. That's at Walmart. I don't shop at no fancy store, but I got 2 kids. I got one in middle school and one in elementary school, and they both into sports and cheer. So, guess where I spend my time doing? So I don't have time for that fancy stuff. Cover it with your lid. Cook on low 4 to 6 hours. The best part about this recipe is that we could serve this 2 different ways. You see that I am serving this on top of our Mission Carb Balance wraps. You could also serve this with cauliflower rice, or you could serve it however your little heart desires. If you want to grab a spoon and eat it as a soup, you go, boo. I am here for you. And if you were too busy laughing and not writing the recipe down, scroll in the description section. And gang, I'm Dietitian Shelly. Be sure to subscribe for more low-carb recipes, and I have another under $10 meal for you. Click on that video right there so you can keep on watching. Much love.